Good morning, everyone. Namaste. This is going to be a trigger warning for anybody for PTSD, anxiety. So if you're not prepared to learn about more on the PTSD and it's from my book, The Body Keeps the Score. That's okay. Go ahead and scroll. I don't want to traumatize anybody. So it's The Body Keeps the Score, Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma. And I am somebody who have overcame PTSD. So it is possible, but you always want to seek out help from a licensed professional, a psychiatrist to get diagnosed yourself, and also seek out counseling as well. But this just helps if you're kind of on the fence, maybe if you have it or not, or if you should be seeking that out. So here we are on diagnosing post-traumatic stress disorder. And again, don't utilize this to diagnose yourself. Seek out a professional. It says, in my new job, I was confronted on almost a daily basis with issues. So this is the doctor talking. I thought I had left behind in my new job, I was confronted almost on a daily basis with issues I thought I left behind at the Vietnam Veterans, the VA. My experience with combat veterans had so sensitized me to the impact of trauma that I now listened from a very different ear when depressed and anxious patients told me stories in regards to any sort of abuse or family violence. I was particularly struck on how many female patients spoke about being blanked as a child. You can put that together. This was puzzling as the standard text of psychiatry at the time stated that incest was extremely rare in the United States, and I disagree with that 100%. I was a child forensic interviewer. I was on the human trafficking team. I did 1,100 cases on it. I worked for 5 years. I was doing about 5 cases a day, and I essentially found that, first of all, it's 1 in 4 girls. Okay, 1 in 4 girls, and that is what is reported. So only half come forward. So it's really going to be 1 in 2 girls. And then it's 1 in 6 boys and only half come forward. So it's really 1 in 3 boys. And we were doing a 98% disclosure rate. We were doing about 250 cases a month for just my county. And we were having a 98 disclosure rate of that. So it states this was puzzling, as the standard textbook of psychiatry at the time stated that it was extremely rare in the United States, occurring about 1 in every million women. That is crazy that they even thought that. Given that there was only about 100 million women living in the United States. I wondered how 47, almost half of them, had found their way into the basement of my hospital. Furthermore, the textbook said there is little agreement about the role of my father's daughter blank. I don't want to say some of these words to get it flagged. A source of serious subsequent I'm going to bypass some of this. My patients were incest history was hardly free of subsequent psychopathology. They were profoundly depressed, confused, and often engaged in bizarre self-harming behaviors such as cutting themselves with razors. Okay, I again don't want to traumatize people. Says they had nightmares, flashbacks, and alternated between occasional bout of explosive rage and long periods of being emotionally shut down. Most of them had been greatly difficultly getting along with, had a hard time getting along with people and trouble maintaining meaningful relationships. There's no lack of trust. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys, but you definitely, if you are struggling at all with any of that, I didn't think that they were going to get into that quickly. But if you are struggling with any of that, there are so many counselors. And if you don't have insurance, you can call out. You can either call a hotline, which NSA, or RAIN hotline, which is 800-656-HOPE or 4673. And they're available 24 hours a day to assist and guide you. You can also call your local police. If it's something urgent, you can call CPS to make an anonymous claim on something. But you definitely want to do something about it. Don't just sit there and stew in it and think that there's nothing to be done. I worked a lot with trauma victims, and it is something can be done. And even just having somebody to hear your truth and be able to speak about it is very healing. So I love you all. I really hope this helps, and get help if needed. Namaste.